her. Why would it be somebody who's trying to make it, who's trying to better herself, who's trying to do right by people, who's trying to help? Why?
On an otherwise quiet morning in East Point, Georgia, at precisely 4:22 a.m., Atlanta police received a distressing call through their emergency 911 center. The caller reported that someone was down, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds and desperately needing help. Little did they know the depth and gravity of the situation they were about to confront.
Well, developing now, we are learning more about a homicide investigation underway in Atlanta right now. It is the breaking news we first brought you on 11 Alive News this morning. We were on scene around 6:30 at the City Park Apartments on Fairborn Road. At the time, we knew one person had been shot and killed.
Responding swiftly, law enforcement arrived at City Park Apartments off Fairburn Road Southwest to find a somber scene. Their worst fears were confirmed when they discovered the lifeless body of a woman lying in the breezeway of her building. The shockwave of this tragedy reverberated through the community, leaving everyone searching for answers. Within hours of finding her body, the victim was identified as 37-year-old Ashley Burton. Burton was a makeup artist, hairstylist, and Onlyfans model who was popular on social media. Her Twitter bio read, "Trans porn star leaving my mark on the world. Only available for business. Hit me if you ready to spend on a bad bitch." Burton had left her home state of South Carolina and moved to Atlanta to elevate her career trajectory. She was also a trained medic, a loving partner, a dear friend, a brave soul, and so much more. According to her best friend, she was a very sweet young lady. She was very full of life, and there were always smiles and laughs whenever we worked together. Ashley's brother Patrick praised her authenticity as a black trans woman, saying, "The way my sibling moved in life, it was take it or leave it. This is how I am. You can respect it or neglect it, but Ashley put it out there and let that person know. It's not going to be a secret." Ashley's cousin described her as a courageous fighter who fled her assailant and desperately sought help from her neighbors before she died. In the wake of this devastating incident, the community rallied together, displaying an incredible show of support and solidarity. Vigils were held, candles lit, and messages of hope were shared all over social media. It was through these acts of unity and the hard work of Atlanta police that a suspect was arrested. On June 5th, nearly 3 months after her passing, convicted felon, 31-year-old Darius Mills was charged.
Show you right now, this is 31-year-old Darius Mills, who is facing murder and armed robbery charges in the shooting of Ashley Burton at her apartment complex.
Mills had already been in custody at the Fulton County jails after having been arrested on May 19th, a little over a month after having murdered Burton. Mills now faces charges of murder, armed robbery, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. It is believed by investigators that there was an argument or some sort of altercation between Mills and the victim inside of her apartment. After the argument spilled outside, Mills allegedly shot Burton in the face and took her iPhone. He then re-entered her apartment and took a second iPhone. As Burton fled the scene running out of the apartment, screaming and beating on doors, Mills delivered the fatal blow. Investigators have yet to link a connection between Burton and Mills and have not confirmed if Burton's gender identity or career as an Onlyfans model had anything to do with her death. The passing of Burton sent fear throughout the Atlanta metro area among black transgender women. While Atlanta has always been a safe haven for the black LGBTQ community, around the time of her death, Atlanta police had also investigating the shootings of 2 other black trans women. One of them, Coco Dedal, who was featured in the Sundance Film Festival documentary Kokomo City, was shot to death in April. Another woman, whose name was not released, was critically wounded in January but survived. This number has since risen. Back in June of this year, at least 11 trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming people had died by violence in the U.S. alone. There are likely many more, given that they may be misgendered or dead named by police or the media, and in a lot of cases their deaths are not reported at all. The majority of these victims have been trans women of color, who even in the LGBTQ community are the most disrespected and disregarded individuals. What makes it worse is that a lot of these women are cowed by men who knew they were transgender, but these men could not come to terms with being trans attracted. According to the LGBTQ+ Bar, an association of legal professionals and organizations that promote justice for the LGBTQ community, the Gay and Trans Panic Legal Defense is a legal strategy that asks a jury to find that a victim's sexual orientation or gender identity is to blame for a defendant's violent reaction, including murder. As of most recent news, this defense was not banned in 35 states and 5 territories, and it isn't banned on the federal level either. According to statistics, 57% of the American LGBTQ population currently live in states where the defense is still legal. Ashley Burton was not only a beloved family member and friend, but also an inspiration to those around her. With an indomitable spirit, she defied societal norms and embraced her identity with pride. Ashley's vibrant personality radiated through everything she did, from her artistic pursuits to her unwavering dedication to uplifting marginalized communities. Ashley should still be here. Rest in peace. Everyone is entitled to an opinion, but please be respectful in the comments, as this is someone's loved one. If you've enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and share across all your social media platforms.